There are a lot of salespeople who, in the garb of selling, are actually begging. Now, I make this statement with a lot of responsibility, and the objective of this video is not to demean those salespeople, but to try and empower them so that they should stop begging and start selling. The question here is selling begging? And I want to pronounce this very loudly that definitely selling is not begging. So, who are those salespeople who, in the garb of selling, are actually trying to beg? Let us first understand what does a beggar do. A beggar increases his level of attractiveness either by showing his helplessness. So he will have his clothes torn, he'll have blood on his body, he'll have something. The beggar will have something on himself or herself which shows that his condition or her condition is hopeless. Or there are some beggars who, by virtue of using a great robust script, which kind of induces a person to give begging, gets on to his work. There are still some other beggars who try to force their way into a customer to give him the begging, and many a times customers give the alms just because they want to get away from the nuisance value of the beggar. Now let's come back to selling. As a salesperson, if you do not do need analysis of a customer, if you do not probe the customer by asking qualification questions to understand what is the exact pain or challenge or risk at the customer's end, which you are trying to solve through your product or service in a way that the customer financially gains from the transaction. Now, if you don't do this, what are you doing? You're trying to be pushy, you're trying to be cheesy, you're trying to somehow force your way through the customer. And if the customer does not agree, you try to use glib talking, you try to use big words, you try to talk a lot and somehow force your way through the customer. And few customers who fall in this trap of yours end up cursing the entire profession of selling by saying that don't give audience to salespeople because they are cheesy and they actually can force you into selling. They will hypnotize you into selling. And that's what you do by begging and not trying to sell. Now, what do you need to do to stop begging and start selling? Well, if you want to stop begging and start selling, first of all, take pride in your profession. Don't approach a customer with the attitude of a beggar. Approach the customer with the attitude of a solution provider, with the attitude of helping the customer solve a problem, with the attitude of becoming a consultant for the customer in a way that the customer feels happy about the fact that he met you. I'm sure you have heard about value selling so many times. I'm sure so many people have told you stop product selling, start value selling. This is the time for you now to understand that if you are not doing value selling, you are actually begging. And beggars are not choosers. And hence, as a salesperson, you will always fall short of your targets and you will not know why you are not able to achieve them. So I hope in this video you have been able to understand that beggars are not salespersons. So I don't mind making this statement that beggars are not salespersons, but some salespersons are beggars. And I'm sure you don't want to be in that category. Hello, friends. This is Sanjay Singh, your sales coach. I'm on a mission of empowering 1 million salespersons with the science of selling. So please help me connect to as many salespersons as you know because I'm proud to be a salesperson. I follow the religion of sales and I would like to baptize and induct as many salespersons as possible to this glorious religion of sales.